let me explain what you're looking at here. Too many people in a remote environment focus unnecessarily, inappropriately, on the physical distance between a team. And I just want to go on record as saying the physical distance, we have seen the physical distance between teams being irrelevant, truly irrelevant. What I mean by that is, having gone into a remote or quasi-remote environment, teams have eroded their capacity because they used to be co-located, and there were so many things that happened in co-location that were unaware, but they were just organically occurring in the hallways, at the lunchroom, after a meeting, etc. All of these things led to a degradation of performance. And the reality is, it's not the physical distance. It was your lack of processes that, as a team, lack of processes, lack of tools, and lack of a social contract among the team that has actually led to something worse: strategic distance. Strategic distance is a lack of clarity and a lack of alignment around your team. And it's something where each of your team has a perspective on what possibility is. And that happens when you're not spending enough time co-creating as a team. The second thing that causes a degradation of performance in a remote environment is operational distance. Operational distance is when your tools are not aligned. I'll give you a for instance. As an entrepreneur, one of the big failures that I have had for many years is that I have made my organization struggle based on how I communicate. Text, email, etc. And my organization, as a result, is running around playing scavenger hunt for information. And I'm frustrated because I may wake up one day and say, "Oh, James, I had asked you to do such and such. Where is that?" And James is like, "I don't recall that request." And I'm like, "No, I sent you an email on it." And I realized I didn't. I had sent him a text on it, but I had put another person on the text trail. And as a result, my ability to find that piece of information relative to accountability is ridiculous. There's different types of tools that you need to be reconstituting with your team. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these today, but it's something that you should really look at. And there's a wonderful thought leader out there named Nick Sonnenberg, who I turn to on the tools side of things. And it's recognizing that you need to reboot communication tools. You need to reboot planning tools. You need to reboot process organizing tools, and you need to reboot knowledge management tools. And then the last issue, of course, and we don't spend enough time consciously aware of this, although we should, is affinity distance. Teams in the last 3 months that have worked hard to keep the relationships and energy of their teams strong are the ones that have thrived. I have had the blessing of coaching a team that I deeply admire, and it's just been inspiring to me at Delta Airlines. And this is a team that has been one of the most successful organizations in the world. And all of a sudden, the loss to their revenue and the reconstitution of their business and their organization, I mean, it's been extraordinary, just extraordinary. And they have been able, because they have focused on the most important distance, not the physical distance, the strategic distance, operational distance, and affinity distance of really coming together as a team in a way that I couldn't have imagined any teams truly doing. Now, what I want you to think about is, I want you to now begin to ask yourself, what would it take for me as a leader tomorrow, today, to step into my organization and begin to have a conversation that reconstitutes the social contract, that allows us to close the distance in our organization and reboot a set of norms that will make your organization thrive in a way that it never has before.